Yo, welcome back to the channel, boys. My name is Zeus, and guys, what we're going to be looking at today is our second installment in the Borderlands Versus series. So last week we looked at the Butcher versus the Conference Call, and you guys really enjoyed that video. So I thought in today's video we'd have a look at two very good SMGs, the Crossroads and the Hawkin. Now these are two guns that are constantly compared to each other and are always referred to the best SMGs in the game. So if you are new to this series, guys, essentially what we will be doing is showing the stats of these weapons, going through basically scenarios that each one is better for, if it has different elements, for example, and then also at the end, kind of my personal opinion on both of them. So these are both guns I do have a lot of experience with. I've had the Crossroads 3 different times, as well as the Hawkin, which I've had many. So guys, without further ado, if you are new around here and you've liked what you've heard so far, go ahead and leave a comment, like, and subscribe, boys, because it is massively appreciated. And without further ado, lads, let's just jump straight into this. So then, to start off with, guys, the Crossroad is a high damage elemental SMG from Hyperion. What makes this gun so good is it actually shoots multiple projectiles at one time. Now obviously each element does its own thing, but for my opinion I have the most luck with the radioactive one. This thing absolutely destroys flesh enemies as well as shields. As you can see in my case, I have an anointed radioactive one. The damage is 307 times 3, the accuracy is 52%, handling 66%, reload time 3.1 second, a fire rate of 10.42, and a magazine size of 49. Now the reason I do have more bullets in my magazine is because of the stats I'm spec'd into, but the magazine size is 49. The red text is open the gate for me, a plus 10% critical hit damage, a plus 25 weapon shield capacity, because obviously it's a Hyperion gun, so you do get that added shield. Consumes 2 ammo per shot, a little bit of weapon zoom, and then obviously you have the anointedness on there. Now as far as the element on this gun goes, it is a 387 damage per second with an 8% chance, which isn't crazy, but that's for each projectile, so you are going to get a decent amount of damage on there. Now guys, basically this gun is going to be a very effective gun for a Mara build, and it's probably going to be one of the main guns you're actually going to want to use for her. I actually use this gun a lot, but not as much as my other SMGs, and I find this gun very much varies on its element. Although I am spec'd into shock damage, I find my shock variant doesn't do as much damage as I would want it to. Now, saying that, the Cry one is probably in that same boat, but the radioactive one for me does a lot, and it's very fun to use. Now, I don't have the incendiary variant, but I'm guessing that would be the absolute best one you can get, because like everything else in Borderlands 3, incendiary seems to be the best overall preset. This gun is a very cool, sleek design that reminds me a bit of a nail gun. It comes with different scopes and all these different attachments, so it's quite a fun, versatile gun to get your hands on. But for me personally, guys, the thing that kind of lets this gun down, and it's probably its only bad feature, is the amount of ammo it consumes. This gun is a burst gun and it does consume 2 ammo per shot, but I think there's almost a bit of a bluff on that, like there is with some damage presets on other guns, because for me personally, when I run through a Athenas or a Proving Grounds, I always run out of ammo with the Crossroads, whereas I don't really run out of ammo with, say, a Cutsman or a Wester gun, for example. But as always, guys, I am aware that this does just come down to the actual preset you have and the element, and it's obviously going to vary if you're killing a flesh enemy, an armored enemy, or a shielded enemy. So then, just for now, if we move on to the Hawkin, guys, I don't want to admit it, but basically this is a gun. Sorry guys, I wasn't going to put this in, but I thought I'd chuck it in, because this is my first ever reaction of using this gun. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my god! Oh my god, this gun's fucking awesome.
I've slept on from day one. I've had many of these guns. I seem to get them more than any other gun in the game, and it's basically probably the best SMG in the entire game. Or should I say overall SMG. And what I mean by that, guys, is you can use this gun on pretty much any character and it's going to do an insane amount of damage for you. Now there's loads of different reasons, guys, so let's just break into them one by one. So this gun is a dual SMG, guys, that does come in many different presets. Only one element, but let's just get down to one thing. Basically, this gun comes from the full auto mode, a semi-auto mode, and a burst fire mode. Meaning if you get a preset with full auto and semi, and you can also get a preset with full auto and burst. Now any version of this gun is going to be incredibly good, but if you're lucky enough to get your hands on a preset with full auto and burst fire, the burst fire mode is going to allow you to shoot very, very fast. So what I mean by that, guys, is basically by spamming the burst fire mode, you're going to be able to shoot a lot faster than you could with the full auto mode, therefore doing a bigger damage per second. So if we just focus on this gun solely for now, guys, let's get into it. Stats. So as you can see, I have the Arctic Reflexive Nighthawk, and obviously if you didn't know, guys, this is a reference to Stranger Things, so that's quite cool nonetheless. The damage is 412 times 3, so for an SMG, already very impressive. The accuracy is 77%, so on the higher side, because obviously it is a dial weapon. Handling of a 69, that's what we like to see. A reload time of 2.4, a fire rate of 8.91, and a decent size magazine with 35. The red text, obviously Stranger Than Things, a plus 15% weapon fire rate, a plus 15% weapon reload speed, and 2 different types of zoom. And also, as you can see, you do have these slow enemies on there because it is cryo. Now, I don't really like cryo guns too much, but the Nighthawk for me is probably my favorite cryo gun on the entire game. It does have a 126% cryo efficiency, which is very good compared to other things, and obviously it is anointed, but it's only anointed with Terrified, which, by the way, boys, why has that not been taken out the game? It was supposed to be taken out the game on the 5th. I'm tired of these blue-ass motherfuckers chasing me around the map. Never mind. You're getting off topic, Harvey. So at first glance, this is just a boring legendary dial SMG that doesn't do too much at all. It doesn't have a very fast fire rate. You're obviously going to use full auto mode, but then until you really kind of do some research on this gun, you know, you try it on that burst mode and you shoot a lot faster, aim for critical hits, and this gun is going to melt everything, boys. Like, what can I say? The only disadvantages I say this gun has to the Crossroads is, say for example, you want to kill someone like Captain Trot, he's going to be very resistant to cryo damage, so obviously the Crossroad is going to win that fight, for example. But there is another hidden ability with this gun, guys. Depending on the type of day, the element of the gun changes. I did not know this until someone in my comment section told me on our top 5 video a while back where I included this gun. I didn't know that, and that's absolutely insane, meaning that for me and Amara, I can utilize fire damage. That's basically what the element is. Every single nighttime or daytime, you'd have to correct me on that, I'm not really sure 100% which day like gives an element, but basically say the daytime gives you a cryo and the nighttime gives you an incendiary chance, which is absolutely nutty in my opinion, because that basically means you are going to get this gun's insane damage and some nice incendiary bonus. And I know Hawkin is a reference to Hawkins, the city in Stranger Things, but I think it could also be a hidden reference because the name is Night Hawkin, so I think it could be a hidden reference to in the nighttime you get a Firehawk sort of skill. But that's just in my head, boys. So if we do like a side-by-side sort of comparison with killing Chewie, for example, guys, you're going to see that the shock and the cryo variant of the Crossroads kind of really struggle with killing him actually. It takes quite a long time, which is quite weird. Whereas if I use the radioactive one, it's going to take him out in a couple good short bursts. Whereas the Nighthawkin has absolutely no trouble killing Chewie before my face grass even ends, and that's on the cryo mode. So if I did this at nighttime with that extra incendiary boost, I don't think he would last even a matter of seconds. Now, I'm not being biased, guys, because like I said, I really slept on this gun, the Nighthawkin, to start off with, and like even like an hour ago making this video, I would have preferred and I would have gone for the Crossroads. I still haven't used the incendiary Crossroads yet, which might be better for me as a personal preference, but guys, I'm gonna have to give this one to the Nighthawkin, boys, because personally, yes, there might be a way you can build the Crossroads to be a stronger gun overall, like with damage, but guys, this gun, the Nighthawkin, you can use on any single character and it's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. You can have a Cryo Zane build, which is going to really utilize this. You can have a good Mose build doing some SMG damage. You can use on Amara the extra incendiary damage, Flak with the critical damage. It's an overall absolute beast of a gun. Well, anyway, guys, that's going to be today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy making these versus videos because I think there's something new for the community. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comment section. Did you agree with my opinion or not? And anyway, boys, leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here for more of it. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. Goddamn, Roxanne, never gonna love me, but it's alright. She think I'm an asshole, she think I'm a player. She keep running back though.